Okay, guys. Welcome to another episode of Ikezy Talks Sport, and today I have with me my personal person, my friend that I've known for a very long time. A very long time. We go way back, all the way from Nigeria, then to the UK. In fact, I would say a much more passionate Arsenal fan than I am. You guys think I'm crazy about Arsenal? Wait until you hear this guy speak. The way he understands the game, the way he talks about the game. For me, it's very, very impressive, and that's why one of the reasons why we've been wanting to do this together for a very long time. We have a couple of segments that we'll be bringing on in this podcast series. A couple of segments, a couple of exciting, insightful, educative, banter filled content. But today, because of the big game that we have coming ahead at Stamford Bridge, we've decided to do a pre-match review for the game. So I would like to introduce my friend who goes by the name Sweez. He goes by the name Sweez, as we all know, on social media, Twitter, Instagram, as you would across the social media platforms. Yeah. So my brother, you are welcome to to the show.
Thank you, bro. It's been a long time coming, so.
Oh yes, it is. It has been.
Wonderful intro. I don't think anyone has introduced me like that before. Thank you.
As the boss
Very
that
much
you are now,
appreciate
as the boss that you are now, I'm so excited to have you, on the show, and I'm super excited for how far and how big, we can take this. I know we have big plans for this, and it's all going to work out. So now, straight to the agenda for the day, right? We have the big North London derby between Chelsea and Arsenal at Stamford Bridge.
Is it more like London derby? Not London, it's Spurs and Arsenal.
Oh, the London derby. I mean, London derby. Yeah. In fact, I was going to say it's not really a derby. It's more of an ownership situation. What do you think these days?
I saw something on social media today that they were posting like previous memories from Stamford Bridge, games against Arsenal, and they had to go back to, I don't know, maybe 2018 or something like that.
I saw Fernando Torres in that clip, and I just said, "This is how far you guys want to
do."
In fact, I think he had just signed for Arsenal that season. If I start to be corrected, he won 6-0. I saw Oscar. I'm like, all these people, they retired, they have grown, fat. That's the best that they can do. Because if you really think about it, I think in the last 6-7 games, they have not been able to beat us.
They have not
been able to beat us across.
Because the last time I remember them beating us was probably under Tuchel, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Under Tuchel.
It was we lost 2-0. The season they signed Lukaku.
Yes.
The season they signed Lukaku.
Yes.
Our defense that day, I think we had Pablo Mari,
Rob Holding. Yes, I remember.
That was the last time. I remember that game, and I remember thinking that we had a lot of work to do defensively. So it was.
But the Arsenal,
since then, it hasn't been easy for them to.
And it will never be easy for them moving forward.
The best they've gotten from us was a draw. 2 draws in the last 2 seasons. There was a 2-2 under Poch, and then they came to lose 5-0 at Emirates.
I remember that game.
Yeah, and then last season there was 1-1.
I think there was also a recent game at the Emirates that we won. I think, was it 3-1 or so?
That was the 2020-2023.
Yes, I know. Jesus scored 2 goals on the day.
Madueke scored against us.
He scored against us. Yes, I remember. He caught slipping. I remember that game. If you remember that game, I think we were in the UK that time. We went to
we
went to eat fish. I can never forget. I can never forget that. So I mean, as we all know, I think the pressure is more on Chelsea, right, for this game, because we can afford to drop these 3 points, right? Because we have currently, I think it's a 4-point gap that we have over Manchester City. So if we lose the game and Chelsea wins the game, they cut the gap between ourselves and Chelsea to 3. But the why I said there's a pressure on Chelsea is because if they lose the game, we increase that points to 9 points, and I think that effectively knocks them out of any competition for now. So I saw something on Twitter, very insightful analysis.
I'm not really on Twitter these days. So
don't worry, I'm on Twitter for you. I saw something on Twitter, and the guy said that Chelsea are closer to Everton in 11th place than they are to Arsenal in 1st place. And as at the time, Chelsea were 2nd.
Yeah, I think one of the things that people, so because it's football, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, or most times, we always try to make it look as if it's a new season, and we only started watching football this season. Like we haven't been watching football or following our teams for many years now. And for me, it's more about, okay, yes, you are a good team, but you haven't been consistent. If you look at your team, like the
Mm.
spine of your squad, if you are being honest with yourself, you know that you don't have enough to consistently churn out good performances and victories over between now and the end of the season. You
Yeah.
know it's not like this is not me being I don't care about Chelsea, but it's just clear that
It's
when you
clear.
look at last season, for example, as much as I'm an Arsenal fan and I wanted Arsenal to do something, or like I wanted us to win it,
Mm-hmm.
but the more Liverpool were like stacking up their 3 points,
Yeah.
and we were
The more
there
difficult.
with injuries and
Yeah.
struggling to get our team together. I just you know deep down, like we don't have enough. From time, everybody knows that if you cannot be consistent, you cannot win this league. The only
True.
reason why City have won it
It's
many
because they
times is
have that
because
consistency gene.
between
Yeah.
November and maybe March or thereabouts, they will do 18 games
Yeah.
on the stretch.
Yeah, and
If they,
I quite agree with you because I'm looking at this Chelsea team and I don't think they have that in
like
them. It's a
even if
young team.
they
They
are
are
able
really good,
to do something
but
against it. Okay,
mhm,
say they beat us now
yeah.
tomorrow, which is I don't think it's not gonna happen. Say they beat us now tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with it? Like, do you trust your team to do anything
So
with it?
yeah,
That's
I mean,
the
if they
because
beat
for
Arsenal
example,
tomorrow,
yeah,
we can agree. It's safe to say that they are in the title race.
yes,
So how do
exactly.
they
But
handle that kind of pressure
exactly,
to
do
deliver
you have enough?
consistent performances? See, I think that this Chelsea team is built for cup games. I don't think that they have that gene
Yeah,
to be able to
like one off
consistently
games,
one off games.
like
You
the
know,
PSG game. Do you think
yes.
over 2 legs
I don't.
they beat
I don't think so. In
PSG?
fact, see, not to water down their performance or
No,
whatever, but
they did
I'm
well.
sorry.
It was a one off.
It was a
Maresca is a
one-off
good
game.
coach. He would always
It
find a
came at a
way to.
point where PSG had already had it. Everyone was tired.
It was a long season
it
for
was a
them.
long
They
season.
had won the Champions League.
Do you
I think
understand?
yeah,
And
was,
you know, Chelsea had they could afford to rotate their squad because they play in the Conference League. Their players were not really fatigued as much as the
yeah.
PSG players, and the PSG players
I had a tweet
they were
about
still able to
this.
make it to the final.
I had a
You know,
tweet about this Conference League thing with Chelsea that season. Yes, they were able to effectively field two different sets of teams in a week. A different team on Thursday, a different
in
team on
the team.
Sunday.
I
They
think they are
could do
still doing
that.
something.
They could do that every week, and that's why there's no consistency.
Yeah,
Because so the quality of players at the end of the day, you need. It's not like you will play one team in Greek in Conference League on Thursday, and then you come and play Man City on Sunday when you have like enough rested players. In the Premier League, you are playing. Look at our fixtures, for example. You are playing Spurs on Sunday. You are playing Bayern Munich on Wednesday. You are playing Chelsea on Sunday. You need your best
your
players.
best players. Yeah,
You need to be able to
I
put
agree.
quality players on the pitch. And if you
And
don't
it's
have them, there's a
yeah,
problem.
it would
Exactly.
be very interesting to see what their lineup would be tomorrow because
No,
or
no,
during the game.
I think they have Palmer back. They
Yeah,
were able to.
but will he be able to start? I mean,
No,
yeah.
no, no, no.
So here's what I
They were
think,
able to.
right? I think that Esteval had a great game against Barcelona, by the way. Cucurella had a brilliant game against Barcelona, by the way.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at their starting line, in the absence of Palmer, those are the only two players
They are really talented players that they have.
that I
They have
feel could cause us problems. Caicedo definitely will cause us problems in trying to block off whatever it is that we try to do. But I think that we have too much for the likes of
yeah,
Caicedo and Enzo
that's
or
always the
whatever that
question.
midfield combination is going to be. But
That's
in
always the
terms of the
question.
attack, I know Cucurella will be very strong in the tackle in trying to show up that right side of Bukayo Saka. But the beautiful thing about, and that's one thing I wanted to highlight, before this game, it's not business as usual. It's not, oh, we block Saka and then things are going to. The way the squad is set up now, everyone is
I
performing.
think teams are
Everyone is performing.
realizing that they are learning that the hard way. And a lot
Yes,
of teams will still learn that the hard way
they learned that
now,
the hard way
especially with the kind of players that we would be
that we have.
like that we have available and getting our players back. Last season, one of the we had this conversation from last season where we were trying to look at what we missed and what we didn't have. we always knew that we needed players that could destroy mid blocks and low blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, we wanted that. We wanted more pace. We wanted someone that would be able to give us maybe not the same, but something different to what Saka offers on the right wing, and all of these things. So I was never really about let us make a big signing. Is where I
Big
was never
signing.
indeed let's make
Yeah.
the Isak signing camp. Sign what you need. Up until I think the last signing we made before Easy was I can't remember now. But everyone was like,
I think it
we
was
were fine.
Madueke.
Yeah, everyone was like, we were fine. No, it was Gyökeres.
Gyökeres,
I
yeah.
think it was
Madueke,
because
Gyökeres, yes.
this thing had started. What's it
Mm-hmm.
called? The preseason had started when
That
Gyökeres
started.
joined them. I think Singapore or something.
And I
So it
think
was
that what
there.
you're saying is actually accurate, because if you look, this was something that I observed in the last 2-3 games, right? If you put the Tottenham game and the Bayern Munich game together, Bukayo Saka, he had a great game in both games, but
Yeah,
his
it was good.
output, he had just 1 assist, and we
Yes,
scored
because
7 goals.
he was running the attack. People are looking at. I've seen people say stuff about like not delivering the
If Chelsea
numbers.
decide to say that they want to focus on Saka alone, then we have problems. We have other people that can cause them problems, and
Then
that is to
you are in
buttress
for
your point.
you are in for a reader weekend
Exactly. Trossard is
because
in the form of his life. Eze
because
is
if
performing
you look
now.
at some clips from the Spurs game, you would see 4 players on the right hand side trying to block Saka and Timber. 4 players, and when you look
What that happened?
to the
Freed
middle
up
of
the
the
left.
pitch,
Yeah,
Eze is free.
it's free. Trossard is free.
Moreno has dropped.
And
Trossard is free on that side.
that was how the second goal came about.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
exactly how the second goal, because from the point where Eze controlled the ball to the point that he shot, he had ample space, and that was because players were coming from the right, drifting back to the left, and losing their footing because Eze was just gliding past them, and that's what we're talking about. So, I mean, I would like to believe that
I
Maresca
think
is a
they made
very
a
good
mistake
coach.
letting us sign Eze.
Of course, everyone knew that when we. I mean,
That was
rival fans have been
as
saying
soon
it all over
as soon as
Twitter.
that news came out that
Yeah.
when Austin said we have reached an agreement, I just knew that okay, now it's complete. Like
It's complete.
now it's like in terms of what we need comparing last season 2 seasons ago to now, the depth, the quality, no, it's complete now. Now consider how the season has gone with the injuries and all, and then we didn't sign Easy. Do you know how terrible we would look? Because we have to be making do with Merino, and then Merino gets injured, and then we have to bring in Nwaneri back. Like literally a replay of what happened last season.
Exactly.
And it would not be looking good with all of the injuries. We are still winning games. We only drew against Sunderland, and that Sunderland game, I'm telling you, bro, if Madueke was available for that,
we have enough to unlock them. I mean, I agree with you.
Because that forward line, he had nothing to change. Like we had nothing on the bench to change the game from in that attacking situation. We had nothing. There was no Martinelli. There was no Gyökeres. We had nothing.
And that's also one of the things that is working in our favor coming into this game. Not even just this game, the next run of fixtures, because Madueke is back. I saw on Twitter a couple of hours ago, Zeus and Gyökeres are in the squad. Odegaard is back. So I think it's just Havertz that is left. But then talking about the game tomorrow, there's been a lot of talk about Declan Rice, Caicedo. My own take on it is that I think that even though I think that Declan Rice would do maybe not so much of a better job than Caicedo at that 6th position, because Caicedo is much more, physical in that sense, very hard on the tackle and things like that. And I'm not really sure about his, build-up play as much. I've not really taken my time to really watch and understand him, but from the clips and the little bits that I've seen, I think when Declan Rice is playing that 6th position, the difference is not really that much. However, Declan Rice is able to shift into he plays predominantly the 8th position for us. So Subimendi plays the 6th position. So having that kind of quality to be able to alternate between the 6th and the 8th, I don't think Caicedo has that. And that's where I would tip Declan Rice over Caicedo. Now, I've said it in the previous videos where I said this is where the argument is going to be put to bed, who is better and stuff like that. But honestly, we can all agree who is better. And I think that, in the game tomorrow, I would need and I would expect a very strong, showing from Declan Rice to stamp his foot, because Chelsea fans are very foul-mouthed. Any small thing, they start bigging up their players, start bigging up their stars and stuff like that. That is expected. We're all passionate fans. But what I'm expecting is a Declan Rice versus, the Chelsea midfield. I've seen a couple of tweets or a couple of reports where they said the better player to compare Declan Rice to in the Chelsea team is Enzo Fernandez, based off of the role, that they play. And I quite agree. But what I'm going to be looking out for is Declan Rice versus the entire midfield. Because I believe that there's going to be a statement that is going to be made in that match. What do you think about that battle that we have going on there?
I have this thing with my Chelsea fan friends, and I've come to a point where I'm too proud of Declan Rice and what I have to have this back and forth discuss with him and Caicedo. So this is what I think. Remember, there was a time that we were linked with Caicedo. This summer we signed Declan Rice.
Yeah.
We were linked to Caicedo, and there were speculations that we wanted both of them at the time. The vision that Arteta had then for that midfield, and Caicedo choosing to finally ended up at Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has realized that the version of it now.
Yeah.
With Rice and
Zubimendi. It would have been brutal if we had Caicedo and as a
That's the way that I see it. I think that Declan Rice, if he's more, I don't know what the word is, he's more mechanical, right? In terms of aesthetics, he's very mechanical.
Yeah.
So I think as a number 6, if he was a bit more smooth and easy on the eyes with when he takes the ball on his left, and then on the half turn, like the things that you will see Eze do in those pockets, if he's able to do that deep, the way that Zubimendi will do it, the way that Caicedo, something that Caicedo is particularly good at, if he's able to do that, it's not like he can't do it, but he's able to do that well. I think he would have no weaknesses. However, I just believe that as a 6, as a left 8, as a box-to-box midfielder, Declan Rice is the best in the world at a lot of things. A lot of things that you would want from a midfielder. If you talk about a total player, which is something that Teta has called him recently, he has almost pretty much everything that you can. If he's not good at it, he's 6.5.
6.5.
It's not as if he's terrible
above average, yeah,
at it. So yeah, that's what I think.
I mean,
I'm only talking about it because we are having this conversation. When people are talking about
you don't like to talk about it.
I don't respond to them.
Yeah. my response is, you think your Caicedo is better? I'm not even disputing. Keep your Caicedo. I keep my Declan Rice.
Keep mine.
And let everyone be happy. So for the game tomorrow, I'm just going to go over a couple of stats just to show the similarities in terms of how both Arsenal and Chelsea are performing at the moment. So far in the season, in terms of shots per match, Arsenal is averaging about 14.73, Chelsea about 14.36, as you can see.
Shots, I'm telling you,
that's not shots, a lot of.
Thank God for Easy.
Yeah. Defensively, we are doing much better. We already considered, I think, is it 6 goals? Chelsea have considered 11. Just a couple of stats here. In terms of our head-to-head, right? In the last 10 games, Chelsea has won only 1. We've drawn 2, and they've lost 7. So that's ownership right there. I don't see what the fuss is about. There's been a lot of noise.
Those draws were at Stamford Bridge.
At Stamford Bridge, yeah. So every time they put up to the Emirates, they got battered. Every time they put up to the Emirates, they got battered. And there's something interesting. Right, this is Stamford Bridge, and I'm also very happy that we are playing them at Stamford Bridge early on in the season. We tick it off, and we're also in a brilliant position heading into the game. Honestly, I expect a good match. One thing that I'll be watching closely, and if at least it's well documented on Twitter. Last season, I was not happy with Arsenal's performances. I was not happy with how the season was planned. I felt like things could have been done better. I was watching things like the body language, mistakes that were being repeated and things like that. And I'm still skeptical about a couple of things. So one thing in particular, I know we are not the type. Recent form or recent result has showed that we don't get intimidated when we go to Stamford Bridge. However, because of the noise around the game, and because of the importance that is attached to the game, the pressure for both teams, I will be watching the body language of Arsenal players very closely. What I want to see is the mentality of of bullies, big boys, that just come bully the opposition, regardless of whatever the opposition is doing, regardless of the noise. You come, you put in a dominant performance, and then you go. Now, I'm not. We've done that in the last 2 games. We did it against Bayern Munich. We did it against Tottenham. But there's something about this Chelsea team that makes it even much more interesting, right? So what I want to say, if we are able to do that in the game against Chelsea, I believe we'll be able to go, all the way. Honestly, I know it's still too early, but these are the things that I want to see. The little things in how you attack a game, in how you start the game, in the mentality, how you rise to the occasion on the day, especially away from home. The last 2 victories have been at the Emirates. This is at Stamford Bridge. I want to see that statement. I want to see it in the players. That's one thing I'll be looking out for. And I don't know if it's something that you agree with me, because, like I said, if I'm going to read out all the stats, yes, there's a little bit of similarity in terms of our start this season, and that's also because we're still early on in the season, right? I've only played, I think, 11 or 12 games. By the time we play about 20 or 30, we would see, disparities across, our stats. But for now, there isn't a lot of similarity. But the mentality, there should be that gap in your attitude, in your mentality for this game. And that is one thing I'm going to be looking out for. I don't know if you would agree with me on that.
No, I definitely want us to go there and deliver a performance. One thing that has been very prominent under Arteta is earning the right to win. It's very rare that you would see an Arsenal game under Mikel since 2022 at least that we have won where we were lucky to win it. I'm not sure you can find up to 10 games that were like that. Pretty much every win is deserved. It should be, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, then it should be uncharacteristic of the team. That's what I think. It's not going to be something that we usually do. For example, the game against Manchester United at the beginning of the season, we didn't deserve to.
True.
But from the way that we played, you could tell that it was an anomaly. The things that we usually do properly in terms of technical security, keeping the ball, keeping possession, controlling the game, we didn't do it.
Yeah.
In that game. The things that you would know a Mikel Arteta team for, we didn't do it.
Yeah.
So we were lucky to win. But you cannot say that for the past 12 games, that's probably the only game that you can pick. Every game, every win that we have had, we played against Newcastle, we were fantastic. So
I just want to see that continue, and I don't want them to be intimidated.
It's not about continuity. And me, I watch a lot of like Arteta's press conferences and all of that. And one thing I said in this game against Chelsea is that we've done it against Tottenham. Of course, I'm paraphrasing now. We've done it against Tottenham. We've done it against Chelsea. Like, people are talking about statements. That if he wins against Bayern Munich, rather, that if he wins against Chelsea, we have another statement. He made a statement over the last 2 games. It's about doing it again and again and again and again. Yeah. That's literally what it is. You haven't done anything. And from the experience of the team over the past 3 seasons, especially from 2022 and then 2023, with coming close and not getting over the line, they are experienced enough to know that nothing is happening or nothing has happened yet. And for people that are saying that we'll wait for you in May, we'll wait till April, we'll wait till February, we'll wait till March when your season ends. Yes, okay, fine. It's okay for you to say that. But you're not factoring in the fact that something drastic has to happen in terms of injuries this season.
Yeah.
For Arsenal to fall.
Not to be able to maintain that level. Yeah.
For them to not be able to maintain that level. But you're not factoring that in.
I agree.
Also, you have experienced this. Gabriel Magalhaes, for example. We missed him now. People were making noise about it. But let's not forget that in the major part of last season, in the biggest games against Real Madrid, he didn't play. He was already injured. Anyway, he's one of the best defenders in the world, and we could still cope without him. Without enough depth, by the way. Now compared to now.
Now that we have much more depth.
You also need to factor that in. You also need to factor out the fact that this team is more experienced. They know better. They are not kids. They've been together for, most of them have been together for over 4 years.
4 seasons.
It's only going to improve. So tomorrow,
I agree.
Number 1 is about earning the right to win. If we are able to do that, I'm of the opinion that we have enough quality. There is hardly any tactical problem that you want to give this team that they will not be able to find solution for.
Fair solution.
Bayern Munich, for example, they are so good. But at the beginning of the game, we did not try to play with them. It was about waiting. Okay, let us stay in the game and try to understand it. That was what they had to do first.
Yeah.
And as soon as they did in the second half, it was done.
It was done. I agree. And to wrap this up, I just want us to, a huge part of our squad, in terms of predicting the lineup, I think a majority of the players, we know who is going to be starting. So if
about left centre back,
I think left winger, because Trossard had a knock.
If Trossard is injured, then it's going to be Martinelli.
I think the midfield is pretty much set. I don't think Odegaard is going to start. I think it's still going to be Zubimendi, Rice, and Eze, Timber, Saliba, Raya, Saka. So for me, I really loved Nkapie's performance against Tottenham, and I'll be pushing for him to start against Chelsea, also because he was rested, for the Champions League game against
I think it comes
Bayern
back.
Munich. Bayern Munich. So, and if Trossard is fit, I think Trossard should start. Trossard has been our most prolific.
I think he starts. If he's fine to start. If he's fine, I think he starts.
Martinelli can come in later on.
Then starts.
Martinelli can come in later on, and then Madueke can also come in later on, we did against Bayern Munich. Right. So I think in terms of the lineup, that is pretty much set. So now to the final part. What's your prediction? What is your prediction for this game? Now, I want it. You give me two predictions. You give me what you really want.
Okay.
And then you give me what you think is realistic.
Oh, okay. What I really want? I want like a 5-0.
Of course. Nothing less than 4. Left and right.
I want
from the back everywhere. Just,
But,
I've been saying they should lay the bet. They should do.
But in terms of what I think would actually, I think it should be 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 and I Noni might get a goal.
I get a goal. I mean, if you get a goal, it would be nice.
I because it's well placed for him. He scored against Bayern Munich. It's his confidence, and he might really want to score the last goal tomorrow.
I mean, just like Eze scored against Palace.
Also, I think Mourinho scores tomorrow.
Okay, but my own prediction. I mean, if those players score, I mean, that's the thing about this thing. The goals can come from anywhere. Yeah. Honestly, and that's the beauty of our.
By the way, last week I predicted that Eze was gonna score, but I didn't know he was going to score a hat-trick.
Score a hat-trick, So that's the beauty of it. So for me, my own prediction, what I really want, I want nothing less than 4. Let's just go there and completely batter them. You see, that's a statement. And the thing is, I don't even care how we do it. Score 4 set pieces, go. I don't care.
I want it to look like we played at the Emirates. Like the way we demolished the Spurs.
I don't even care.
I want it to look
if
like
it is 4 set piece goals, score it. All I want is to shut them up. But realistically speaking, I think it's going to be a close game. I think Chelsea, not just the fans, the team, they hate us. Let's admit it. I don't think these Tottenham players that we play, I don't think they hate us enough. You see, this Chelsea team, they hate us. They don't like us. So I expect them to fight. Caicedo does not like us. I expect it to be war, but we are going to win. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I think someone like Saka, will determine the game. And I'm going to go for an odd one, like a Calafiori, a wild card. So I'll go for a 2-1. Estava or whoever they play might score, but I don't care. So I think I'll go for a 2-1. Anyways, Sweez, it was great having you, for this pre-match review. I think this is the first of many. So like I said, viewers, you have to anticipate. We are cooking up so much for you. So many segments that we're bringing to you guys. It's going to be interactive, it's going to be fun, it's going to be educative, it's going to be insightful.
The games are coming thick and fast.
They're coming thick and fast. So it's not just going to be like the random, things that you find online. It's not going to be some Me Too type situation. It's going to be unique. What the content, the conversations that we're going to be having on this podcast and the segments that will be churning out for you. So let's go enjoy the game, bro. Let's go enjoy the game. And then we
see you after the game tomorrow.
We see after the game.
We should plan a post-match.
A post-match. It's a celebratory.
Yeah, post-match reaction.
Yeah, post-match reaction. That's it. All right. Yeah, see you guys. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do everything you can. Share with your friends. We're going to be bringing a lot of amazing stuff for you guys. So yeah. All right.